Welcome back to B for Crypto, and yes, the CPI is out, and guys, we got the CPI reading of 5.6%, which is higher than expected but lower than the previous reading. So guys, we're going to find out what we could expect in the immediate short term, but guys, a very important notice: on Thursday we're going to get the US Producer Price Index, which is also going to be very important for the markets, but we're going to find out what we could expect in the immediate short term. Are we going to see a massive pump from these regions and come all the way back up to this major resistance, or are we going to break this support line of the 21,500 US dollars and come all the way back down to our CME gap? Guys, we're going to find out all of that in today's video, and guys, at the end of the video I'm going to show you a mind-blowing chart that might tell us that we are in a massive accumulation phase and how we could benefit from these moves. So guys, if you want to find out more, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe, and most importantly activate the bell so that you always stay up to date. And yes, over on the weekly chart we can see that we dumped all the way back down and we found support round about the levels of 22,000 US dollars, and at the moment we are holding this level quite strong. And why? Yes, we got some previous resistance round about these areas, and guys, you know, resistance turns into support, and that's why we can see that Bitcoin is holding in this level quite strong. Overall it's quite bullish because yes, we got this bullish CPI data which is lower than the previous reading but higher than expected. Let's go on the daily chart to find out which levels could we reach if we're going to see this dump towards the downside. First of all, we could see we had this massive push towards the upside for Bitcoin, and this consolidation is just healthy for the markets. And yes, we found perfect support over this trend line. At the moment we can see if we're going to see this dump towards the downside and that we're going to break this trend line towards the downside, we could expect first that we're going to come all the way back down to fill this CME gap. And why do I think that we're going to fill this CME gap? Yes guys, because we can also see we have the 200 moving average exactly in these areas, and this is round about the levels of 19,700 US dollars all the way up to the levels of 20,500 US dollars. So guys, this is also going to be a big psychological level to retest the 20,000 US dollar level until we're going to see this break of this trend line again. But guys, overall, if we're going to zoom out, yes, even if we're going to come all the way back down to the 61.8, Bitcoin would still be forming a higher low, and this would still be bullish guys, because this means we're still in this bullish structure. Maybe if we're going to get the PPI numbers, that we're going to see that Bitcoin will hold in these levels, and that we're going to get a good reading from the PPI, from the Producer Price Index, and that we can see that Bitcoin breaks out from these levels. But guys, let's go on the lower time frames to really find out what is Bitcoin doing at the moment and what we could expect in the immediate short term. And guys, if you want to buy crypto on the spot market or trade it on a leverage market, make sure to follow my link in the video description below, where you receive a massive deposit bonus. But guys, let's go over on the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. The 4-hour chart, we can see that yes, Bitcoin is holding this level, but at the moment we can see that we got some resistance round about these levels of 21,800 US dollars, and at the moment the price of Bitcoin is moving towards the downside. But guys, first of all, let's look at the price targets that we could reach in the immediate short term, and this would be the 38.2 round about these levels of 20,800 US dollars, where we can see that we have a lot of price movement in these regions. So we could expect, if we're going to break this level with a 4-hour candle, we could expect that our first price target would be all the way back down at the 20,800 US dollar level, and then we really have to see if we're going to get this quick wick towards the downside. But guys, overall our major support comes around the level of 61.8, which is also round about the levels where we had this breakout towards the upside. And yes, we could see that in these areas we have a lot of support and resistance to hold the price of Bitcoin. So guys, I think it would be a good opportunity to dollar cost average into Bitcoin, that we're going to come all the way back down to clear all this FUD and all this negativity in the markets, liquidate all these long positions, and then we can see that Bitcoin will move up from these regions. And guys, yes, I think that we're going to see a little bit more downside for Bitcoin, and why I'm going to show you on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. But guys, before we're going to go over on the weekly chart and I'm going to show you this mind-blowing chart, I want to remind you, go over to cryptoclothing.com and check out the awesome crypto clothing, and make sure to follow them over on Instagram. And yes guys, on the weekly chart we can see the Wyckoff accumulation phase, and I really do believe that we are in this Wyckoff accumulation phase and that we could expect one dump towards the downside where we really can dollar cost average into Bitcoin to really have the best position and to really play like the whales, because yes, this is the whales playbook, the accumulation phase, and we're going to find out how we can benefit from these moves. So guys, make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe, and most importantly activate the bell so that you always stay up to date. And guys, be for crypto, and if you want to earn passive income through copy trading, watch this video exactly now.